What is up, everybody? Soul warriors and game changers, sun path activators. My name is Master Juniper Blue Mystique. I am an ascension master, a master healer, and a divine guide. And I have in this week's It's in the Air divine guidance frequency some messages of importance for you. Okay, so I channeled about the energy this week and how to use them as tools. Okay, and also what crystals will benefit you. And then I want to share a very important message that comes from somebody that I know is connected, that is speaking the same things I have been speaking. Okay, so we have been going through a lot of constant shifts, right? There's a lot of things going on, a lot of things continually going on. And oftentimes we get in this state of, I'm good, right? I can take a breather, I can take a rest, but we don't have time to rest. Number one, we don't have time to rest. Okay. So this week we have an opportunity to use the energies wisely. Okay. This week is about using the energies wisely. And I'm getting a lot of chills when I say that. I will also pull a couple cards from my 2 decks that I created during the Return of Christ work, because that is who I am. I have been bringing it about since 2019, and it does all truly play out on this channel, but there's more to it than just that. It's very complex. It's not simple, and it's very real. So it takes a long time to truly even see and understand what the totality of that is. Okay. So what I'm going to say to you for the best energy for this week ahead is do not get complacent and use this week wisely. Okay. Yesterday I did a live and I talked about the Lyrans coming in because I'm doing another workshop for the Return of Christ right now. And this is a cosmic reunification, right? There's lots of energies coming in. There are cosmic energies coming in, accompanied with Christ light and accompanied with the rays of the sun, which are the activators. And it's so if you use your world wisely, if you use the energies wisely, they are here to help you. But you have to use them wisely. So becoming complacent, thinking we are done, thinking that you just get to rise because, that's the shadow. Okay? It's going to fool you. So don't let it fool you. You must continue to do some work. And I have a really good video I'm going to show you today of our everyday lives, De La Roca. Throughout the entirety of my journey, he will see things in the energy after I do them within 24 to 48 hours. He is connected. And the reason he is connected is because he's co-creating through the heart space. And I talk about that. The more pure your heart space is, and it's not that he's perfect, he does the work to learn the things, to heal the things, to grow. He stays heart-centered and he listens to the nudges of God. He knows we have to be co-creating. Okay. And so that's what I do is I help you co-create with the world around you. Hopefully for those that are willing to push past the resistance, because in everything I do, there's going to be resistance. There's going to be the shadow that sneaks up and tells you otherwise because it doesn't want you to grow. It doesn't want you free, right? The matrix is shackles. God is free will. Okay. So God gives you power. God empowers you. God gives you free will. So it's up to you to use the things, to use them wisely to help you create, co-create the reality that your heart truly calls for you to seek. And that's also the only way to rise. We are currently rising through the portals. And I also happen to know that all Lyrans have been awakened and activated in the collective. Any Lyran starseeds have now been activated from the work that I've been doing. And so we should all be changing and awakening and being called to do things, but it is up to you to do them. God gives you power. God empowers you. He gives you the tools you need if you're listening and you know how to use them wisely. And this energy for this week is use your week wisely. Okay? Because God will give you little seeds, give you little things, and it is up to you to grab on and use them. But we also have to remember now is not the time to stop. You cannot stop. It is a constant. No matter how tired you get, keep going. Okay? So this week in particular, we have an opportunity to use the energy wisely in order to raise and change our frequency exponentially. Okay? Even if you have all these things coming in, if your vibration is too low and you're not doing the work, you're just complacent and living your 9 to 5, doing, Netflix and chill all the time, you're not doing the work to receive. You are not observing your reality. You are just simply living day to day. Okay, you're just surviving. So you have to be doing the work. Those that are doing the work, those are observing and taking opportunities and growing and learning and showing and rising. They have an opportunity this week because they're listening. They're co-creating with God in the heart space. Just like I've told you in all of the Return of Christ work I've done, you must do this. It's also in my new book, okay? New Earth Manifesting, Co-Creating. In the New Earth, you have to be open in your energy and co-creating with God. Okay, you have to, because we are all connected. We all affect each other, and that is just the way it is. We have to match that vibration. Okay, so there are high frequencies coming in this week, but it is a high frequency of you required. So use the energies wisely this week to change your frequency. Whatever comes in, synchronicities are not just synchronicities. I talk about this. You must ride the waves of frequency and change. You ride the waves of frequency, right? Ride the waves of frequency. Ride the waves. What does that mean? That means to utilize everything given. So a lot of times when people see synchronicities, they're like, cool, I'm on the right path. They look for a message, but it goes deeper than that. And I talk about that. Okay. We must use them to ride the wave of frequency. That helps us rise in our frequency. Okay. So it can be numbers. It can be signs and symbols. It can be music. Music is another big way they will communicate. Whatever comes your way this week. So it says change it now. Okay, so change your frequency this week. And the earth is here to help you do that, but you have to take actions. You have to be co-creating with spirit in the heart space. And you need to utilize all the tools that are coming our way to do them. So for you, it depends on how spirit communicates with you. But they are subtle, so you have to be observant. You have to be paying attention to the world around you. You have to be observant within and around your body at all times. Okay? And whenever they say ride the waves, it's because they want you to shift timelines. Okay? So we need to, this week, use the energies very wisely. There are catalyst energies present. They are here to assist you. Sometimes we're called to fast. Sometimes we're called to meditate a lot. I will tell you right now, if you're not a regular meditator, you should be. We need to be using the tools. The ascension is not just a given. You have to rise in frequency. You have to clear all that is not. And you have to let go of all the shackles that bind you. You need to be living your life. You need to be observant and creating, co-creating with God. Okay? But ride those waves of frequency. All right? That's what's coming up this week big time. It's a catalyst to help you raise your frequency. So there's also healing this week. So deep healing nudges. Okay? And I talked about this too in the live that I did yesterday. We can have relationship insights coming. So I channeled this. We can have relationship insights coming for self and others. Okay? So truth recognitions and aha moments could be coming this week. And for those that are observant, that are living, not just surviving. Okay, that aren't complacent, that are still doing the work and realize that everything we do right now matters, and everything you do right now will either dictate whether you're rising or not. Okay, because you'll miss your opportunity. If you're just sitting back complacent, you're missing the opportunities to rise. All right, and sometimes those opportunities mean we have deep recognition to do. We have truths to own. We have truths to see. We have truths to allow to be observed and absorbed. These deep healing nudges are super important, even if they're uncomfortable, right? Even if they're uncomfortable, even if we don't like what we're seeing and feeling, even if it's just so out of our comfort zone, we must do it. Okay. There are high frequencies also coming in. So be aware of more sun rays, activations. All right. One more of these too. Okay. Now, again, whatever comes up this week, whether it's uncomfortable, whether it's a truth that hurts, use it as a way to recognize, to grow. We are in spirit school, and if you're not using the school wisely, you're not rising. We are here to use the tools, to learn the lessons, to heal to the pureness of our heart space so that we can co-create with spirit. Everything that happens to you, I mean physical things to energetic, to synchronicities, you need to use everything this week as a catalyst to rise in frequency. Learn to understand it, learn to read it, learn to co-create with God even more, okay? And heal whatever is asking you to be healed, including recognitions and truths within relationships of the self and others around you. And look for those aha moments. But whether you look for them or not, they're coming. So there are aha moments that will be present this week as well. Okay? Now I have some crystals coming up for the energy this week that will help you. In these. That will help you ride the waves of frequency. That will help you release or whatever you need to do. First one that came in was obsidian to help protect, ground, and guide you, to help clear and connect you psychically. Then we also have clear quartz, same thing. Help connect, clear, ground, and also clear your crown chakra, help you connect to the divine. It's also, clear quartz is also a catalyst crystal, meaning like it'll enhance the frequency of all other crystals. So when you take clear quartz, like when I use them for a specific purpose in my healing ones that I create, you see it has amethyst on one end. Sometimes I use others. And this one was utilized in the pyramid activation, so it's filled with Christ light and sunlight. But then it also has the clear quartz at the end because it is an amplifier crystal. Okay, so we have obsidian, clear quartz. It's there to amplify all the energies of the others and provide its own connection and insight. Then another one that I got, which was really cool, is the first one I've gotten this one, was watermelon agate or agate. And it is a super activator of the heart chakra. And so I talked about, I think it was in my workshop yesterday, that we have to connect with the ethereal heart. Like we need to be connecting and expanding and into a very deep heart connection this week. Super important, okay? So this watermelon agate or agate is here. It's a super activator of the heart chakra, okay? It helps you connect to your higher self and deepening and fostering of love, tenderness, and friendship, so relationships. So clear tools to help you this week. I always provide the tools necessary to help you with the energy this week. I don't just do an energy read. I always provide the tools that you can use. Okay, so that's why in 99 of my crystals, 99% of my wands that I make and channel and fill with powerful Christ light, I always have a quartz crystal in there somewhere because it is a powerful enhancer. It causes the other crystals to activate tenfold and to carry much more power and purpose. Okay. So then the cards that we have for this week is Space-Time Continuum, Ascension Portal Rising. So that's why we need to raise our frequency. If we are not, just like I said, change your frequency. Right now, higher frequencies are required. If we are not rising in frequency with the energies coming in, we are not rising with them. In order to shift the timelines and to rise through the portals, you have to be rising in frequency. So here we are again. We need to connect to the, what did I say in my work? Because I channel my workshops and I was with the Lyrans and we were doing all kinds of cool things. But we have to get into the galactic, the galactic heart or the ethereal heart. I'll have to try to remember when I do my workshop today, but it is something about an expanded heart, right? There are so many levels to the heart connection for Earth and the galaxy. But we need to expand our heart so much that we are connecting to the galactic heart. Okay. So focus on love, heart, chakra. This is my deck, by the way, that I just finished. Guided Ascending Light, Epic Light Healing Journey. So here's another portal card. Okay. This is the internal discernment portal. So if you are not observing your life, if you are just a participant and you're surviving, you will not ascend. This portal requires you to use internal discernment. If you are not growing and learning the lessons and clearing your karma and questioning what is love and what is not of love, you're not ascending. Okay, I'm going to show you that. Even De La Roca knows that. He's one of the very few that truly speak the truth of the ascension. There are some out there, but even some of the star seeds and light workers will reflect the shadow from time to time. So you have to be very careful who you're listening to. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you become complacent, if you think the ascension is just a given, if you think nobody has karma and you don't have to heal your own karma through free will, you're duped. You're being duped by the shadow. That is a misguided energy, and it's here to block you from rising because it is a testament. Okay, Revelations 21:13, 21:12, and 21:13. Very much so reflect in the work that I've done, from activating pyramids to reshifting the poles, the north, east, south, and the west alignment, and so on. Okay, generational entanglement. All right, so you must be using internal discernment. Is this love or is this not love? And learning the lessons and clearing what is not love in order to rise through this portal. And this week, the frequencies are here to help you do that, but you need to raise your frequency exponentially. Destruction brings beautiful changes, powerful to rearrange spaces. So I told you also during the message about the hurricanes recently, is that the earth has to correct herself. She needs to undo what's been done because what was done was false. And so she's coming in for destruction, for repair. That's who I am. I bring great destruction so that we can repair it. The reset of mankind. And the earth is doing her own destruction for repair. And they're even talking about, I said it might come in threes, and they're talking about another 1 to 2 storms possibly developing, but those are still in the watch. So what I'm going to tell you is that your lens might be that, oh my God, everything's crumbling, we're all dying, it's the end of the world. Or your lens might be, yes, everything's falling that needs to fall so that I can rise to new heights. Whatever your lens is matters, okay? Are you using the tools wisely so that you can build to the best version of yourself? Because just like in Twin Flames, you have to be willing to be the best version of yourself to rise, to ascend, okay? And remember, it is a road less traveled. That is why at times we can be and feel so alone. But just like in my live yesterday that I did on this channel, whether you're finding this later or not, I did one on Sunday the 13th of October. And I talked about how our furried and feathered friends can help us in those times of feeling alone. The angels, our spiritual guides, connecting to the heart, but also the love of animals can help provide love and comfort and also help you transmute tough energies. Okay? And then last but not least, rays of yellows, gold, the sun and the one. Healing element of light, shining to help everything and everyone else shine so bright. Take your power back, awaken, and shine. Okay? So you need to be opening your heart space very deeply, realizing we are going through in a portal, but this portal requires your internal discernment, your observation, and your co-creation with God, and clearing all karma that binds. Okay? So to end this video out, I'm going to play De La Roca's video from today because he is one of the few that are absolutely connected to what I have been doing and to what I have been saying, even though he doesn't know me. I am not a large channel because most people's shadow kind of blinds them from the work that I do, especially without my DM with me. My original DM did not make it, and I got to walk in. When we are united physically, everybody can see clearly. But with that separation, there is more resistance. And where your shadow lies will blind you. But De La Roca, who I believe is a twin flame as well, knew everything that was happening in my journey. You can actually, if you want to be an investigator, investigate my whole channel. I would do the Return of Christ work and I would upload it and be blown away. And within like 48 hours most, he would feel it in the energy. He tells you, just like I do, that it is not just a given. You have to do the work. to not get, he tells you good things. So I'm going to share his video now with you. It is only a half an hour video. I think it came out today, and God wants me to share it because it is part of the correct word, just as I have been saying. It is part of something very important for everybody to know, to see, to listen to, and to do. Okay? All right, so that was the energy for this week ahead, the proper tools of use in order to navigate it wisely. And what De La Roca says now is your next best things to do. Okay? So we're going to listen to this very quickly. I'm going to make myself a little small. Boo. Boo, 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 boo. I'm trying to stay out of his way because, we want to hear him and see him. All right, you ready? Okay, here we go.
And now, the royal family is activated. It's a divine timing moment. The royal family is activated. You might have come across this message today and you are seeing things fit together like puzzle pieces in a divine timing for this ending of this very powerful year. You might be experiencing ringing in the ears, pressure at the top of the crown. That's your connection to God. That's your connection to Source. And right now we're experiencing the royal family activate. The energy.
So I've told you many, many times in the work that I've done, from the eclipse in April to all the pyramid activations, it is a beacon. The work that I have done is calling everybody home through the path of the sun. Through the work that I've done, you can only rise through the one that brought it about. And these are all the ones who are connected, that can hear the call in the heart space, that are meant to rise, that choose to repair karmic demise.
That's coming in from our sun is assisting, activating the sons and daughters of God. We have a very powerful message today. This is divine timing. This is the event. We're all being activated, and the royal family has arrived. We have a lot to discuss today. We're going to be discussing the crown chakra activation. We're going to be discussing puzzle pieces coming together. God knows your path better than you know it yourself. Certain things that I've had to go through on my...
God knows your path better than you know it yourself. I have been saying for a long time that your ego is going to blind you. It's going to make you think that you know everything, that you have all the answers. It's also going to connect you to those with more shadow than light, and they're going to try to dupe you. They are. So this is why co-creation with God, with spirit right now, not with the mind, with the heart, is your only way through. Because this is a karmic play out, multiple lifetimes, multiple ancestral ties, soul ties, contracts. This is beyond your mind. You're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to know all the healing that needs to be done. You need to be letting God guide you. So when God places something in your path, i.e. the path to righteousness or all these things, and there's great resistance to it, that's the one you need to really do. Okay? Where there is shadow, there will be less resistance.
My journey to accomplish this, fasting, maybe you're called to fast all of a sudden. We're going to discuss the quantum law of being in this video.
Quantum physics. So all the pyramids that I activated them. Nobody else did. It was me and then my DM with me, because they were feminine and masculine. It was at Indonesia, Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Thailand, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Botswana. Then the masculines were Ecuador, Congo, Mount Kilimanjaro, British Columbia. Like you have to watch my pyramid activations. But there was 13 of them, which is the gates up. The Nile was the final portal to the 13th gate. And we are on that path now. Okay, so you have to be rising by shifting your frequency, clearing the matrix, and clearing all karma through healing and lessons hidden in disguise. And you do that more easily by a pure heart, pushing past resistance, and co-creating with God.
We're going to discuss angels and demons walking this earth right now. You got to focus.
Gotta focus.
It's such a powerful time period. It's a time period that you've been waiting for. So this is like the main event. This is the big game. And we're going to perform at our finest. That's why God has given us maybe a little tasks. We had little obstacles over.
P.S. I have not heard this full video, but he is spot on. I was told to share it because it goes with the return of Christ work that I've done. It also reflects everything that I tell you. But there's a lot of people with a shadow still getting in their way. So be very careful with that.
Over the past few years, but it wasn't obstacles. It was the way. The obstacle is the way. You might have had an obstacle. You said this is an obstacle, but you barreled through the...
That's what I tell you. That's why I say it's lessons hidden in disguise. The obstacles, the challenges where soul growth applies, feeling vulnerable, following spirit when other might say you're cray-cray, that is the way.
Obstacle that was on your path for a reason. And today we're going to understand that the royal family is now activated. It's good to see you all. If you're new to the channel, I'm Michael. I discuss the ascension.
P.S. My journey consists of me aligning with my DM, my twin soul, on 3 different levels. Level 1, before we undid the Holy Grail on Christmas Day of 22, was our soul came together. Then we cleared the Holy Grail, united Jesus and Mary Magdalene's soul fragments, brought them back. And in that time frame, God married my DM and I. And then we opened the God portal. And that is the return of Christ. But we did it on more levels. So it was also Sekhmet and Horus. And then it was Adam and Eve. And then I birthed the new earth. So there's a lot to it.
Journey, and I make it relevant for everyday life people. And all different types of people, all different backgrounds across the world. They're coming into their power right now. Isn't that great? Don't fall for the distractions, because just as you are rising up, remember, there's always going to be a rise up of maybe people that are trying to stop you, trying to distract you. It goes hand in hand.
Yes, and I keep saying that, especially with the work I do. Can you realize that the path to righteousness that I had was an opportunity for people to rise through the actual work of the return of Christ, the actual work of the one who brought it about, and a way to heal everything for you. And there was so much distraction and resistance. And every time a portal comes about, something tries to attack my energy. Something always tried to stop my DM and I from rising. And some picked up that asshole energy and chose to throw it my way. So you always have to be mindful that where soul growth is applied, something is going to try to stop you, because it is the way.
But eventually, we're going to hit a different octave. We're going to be on a different level, if you will. The sun is actually going up to a different octave. And when that happens, the laws of physics itself can change.
So they already are. That he makes a lot of sense there, you guys, a lot more than you realize. Because if you watch my pyramid activations, which are found on this channel, in my Return of Christ playlist, you can watch. It's actually me doing the work, and it enlarged my heart to do it. I take us to the creation of life multiple times. I rebirth the earth, and I always tell you it's quantum physics. It is at a level of quantum physics. That's why, you know, the earth is neither round nor flat. It's both round and flat. Like, there's so much more complexity than we're aware of, that even scientifically they are aware of. And we are rising in such a frequency that we have to become more aware that it's different than it was. Okay? It is quantum physics related. So Dale Roca, our everyday lives, is way more connected than you know. Like, he speaks exactly what I've been telling you guys. There's a little less resistance, and he's very good with his words, because I went through a lot of pain. And so it was always sometimes hard for me to shine in light when there was so much trying to take me down. But I'm going to tell you right now, he is accurate in what he is saying on so many levels.
So we're headed into, which I've shared on this channel a long time ago. It's a very powerful video, Uncharted Waters. Uncharted Waters.
I've said that too. It's beyond your limited mind space. I think I even said that during the live yesterday again, is that you do not understand this. That's why you have to co-create. This is not normal. And I even think the Lyran's message went with that, is that this has never been done to this level even on Earth before. I didn't just take us into 5D, I took us into 7D, and actually we're going a little bit more into 8D than we're aware of. And so these are uncharted. You have never been here on this planet, in this frequency, in this manner, for this purpose ever before. These things are beyond what your mind can process.
So there are people that might have, and that's why we have to collaborate and come together. We don't know really what to expect, but what we can expect is headed into uncharted waters. In the past couple of days, there's been a very powerful crown chakra awakening that's happening. Crown chakra is so important. That's your connect.
I'm going to tell you right now, he's telling you it's in the energy, but if you have not done the work to match the vibration, it may not be happening for you. You have to be on the correct timeline, and that is done, right, through rising through the portals, through the lessons, the way, meeting the challenges, rising above them, pushing past the resistance, and meeting those timelines, meeting the frequency of rise. And if you have, you are more available. So more star seeds. Like when I did the Lyran workshop day 1 yesterday, I actually saw a few Lyran star seeds activate, and maybe like a handful. So I would say very less than you would expect are receiving these at this time, but they can feel something. You need to raise your vibration. That's why this week is so important for you to change your frequency. Because when you change that frequency, those activations are more available and coming through for you.
Connection to source, that's your connection to God. So it's so important, and when you're connected to God, then you're connected to the collective as well.
So is the heart chakra. That's why actually this week it's more about the heart chakra and not reflecting the crown chakra. A lot of people think it's through the head, it's through the heart as well. If your heart is not pure and you are not co-creating from the heart space, you're not able to hear God either. Okay? So it's not just the crown that's important, my friends. It's clearing the path of the heart.
That's why people that are empaths, you're feeling what's going on in the collective. Sometimes you have a little anxiety. We just went through a very powerful week. That powerful week was putting us on the threshing floor. It sorted, the reality even further.
I'm gonna tell you right now, when anxiety rises, it is a cursor of something to heal, and I do videos about that too. Anxiety is not natural. That's because we're coming off of timelines that didn't exist to begin with. Thinking of the future and thinking of the past will create anxiety. The more you're in the here and the now, the less anxiety you're going to feel, and the more you listen and observe what's going on inside and around you, internal discernment, you will be able to heal in that and eliminate anxiety.
You're seeing clearly who is who. You're being refined by the Holy Spirit fire. You get those flames going in the chat.
You should be.
I experienced, very strong, headache, rush of energy as well. So, you have the headache, but, it's like you could be, you should be getting ready for bed. And all of a sudden, you have this rush of energy. Heart is pumping, right? And you almost feel like you can't sit still. But there's a pressure on the top of the skull. You might have ringing in the ears. My ears are always ringing. I've done a full video on it if you're new to the chat.
Actually, there's more to ringing in the ears than he's talking about. And that's something I would teach probably in my courses of communicating with spirit, and something I've learned to do as a master healer and a divine guide. So you can actually take that deeper. There's more to just ringing in the ears for some.
But you could experience different tones. If you are an individual that's been experiencing the ringing in the ears for a long time, some people, they might be just experiencing it for the first time. On my journey, my ears have been ringing for years, nonstop. But it changes, if it gets to a point where I have to focus on it, and then I can notice it. I'd have to get quiet like that. and really focus on it. But sometimes it gets loud. Sometimes it goes one ear, the other ear, or back and forth. Are you experiencing ringing in the ears? Why don't you leave comments? Because a lot of people across the world right now are experiencing this. And you know, our crown, our third eye, your whole chakra system is coming online.
Should be. If you're healed enough and your
But you
frequency
have
is
to
high
get your
enough.
crown. You are receiving your crown today. You could put the crowns in the chat. You're receiving your crown. So the ringing in the ears, the pressure on the top of the skull. I received a comment yesterday. I love the comments. I even love the trolling comments. But I have beautiful comments. So I had a comment yesterday, and the person wrote, "I've been hearing that in my head for days." So, you know, our crown chakras, many people could be hearing tones, experiencing ringing in the ears.
I may skip a little bit because he has some important words to say I want to get to, and this is his channel and his video, so I encourage you to check him out. He is connected. He is highly connected. There are only times where he is still in a lesson learning, but I rest assure you he learns the lessons quite well. So I trust in what he says, and it reflects everything that I've done, minus being able to see who I am, because he still can't see that either. Your heart truly does have to be pure to see that, and it's already coming in the energy. So
Pressure in the skull, like a headache. Our crowns are coming on. You got your crown, isn't that? The other thing that it's more of like you're noticing, observing life. I always share. Are you having a conscious experience of life, or are you asleep behind the wheel? Some people are just running off of subconscious programs. They watch the TV all day. They're not paying attention. It's the currency of the universe. You're starting to look at life and.
I like how he said that. It's the currency of the universe. You have to pay attention. You have to be internal discernment. You have to be observing, and that's the currency of the universe. So you use it to rise. You use it to awaken. You use it to co-create with God. Well said.
Puzzle pieces are coming together. You know, I'm seeing that right now. I just was talking to someone last night. She's seeing it as well. Puzzle pieces are coming together.
That's those aha moments. Just like I said, this week is going to be more aha moments, puzzle pieces coming together. It takes every piece of the puzzle. It takes getting out of your comfort zone. It takes vulnerability. It takes doing the work. That's the only way to build a strong foundation.
On my journey, I'm really witnessing, it's unbelievable. It's going to be in the book in the future. A 1-year season that God put me through. And I witnessed it all come together. And, you know, sometimes if you're being a way shower or a front runner, if you will, you kind of go through things. That's why it's my honor to present things, like even like the ringing in the ears. When my ears, I always share that story. It's a full video on the channel page. But like my ears started ringing, I was terrified. I was going through all these things, you know, and you know, you have all these symptoms. So now, when you express and explain certain things that you go through, you say, oh, that's what it is. Or you might have all of a sudden, you know, you come up against adversaries that pop up, could come out of your own communities, and that's like, I didn't know these things, so all I could do is pay it forward. So when you see it, we all have to go through it. But the only thing that we could do is mitigate, just like we mitigated that storm. All we could do is get through it quicker. So the faster you go through things, the faster you go through a situation, you go on your healing journey a lot quicker. It's more efficient. That's all we can do, is be more efficient at this.
Yes.
Okay? So we're seeing puzzle pieces come.
Don't get complacent.
Together at this time. God knows your journey better than you know it yourself. Sometimes we say, I know which I have this plan. I know what's going on. I did it too. I know it.
See? He did it too. He admits it. That's what I love about him, is he admits that even times he gets a little blinded and he can be guided by ego sometimes. But I have watched him circle right back around and get right back aligned. He's highly connected. I love it.
But actually, God knows it. And the more that we let go, remember, we are co-creating with God, because there's got to be free will. And that's the message that came to me. That's what we do on this channel, is restore balance and alignment. You're going to see tons of people out there, maybe in spirituality, that are out of balance. They're out of alignment. So
Yes.
you got to be careful
Yes.
when you go out into the spiritual communities.
I also know there's a lot of spiritual communities shrouded in darkness, and there was a lot of people in a community that I was once aware of and coming through, and those that are highly connected to that person have a large shadow to overcome, very deep embedded into Mount Shasta, and some ego and greed type energies, and they are completely blinded. And anytime I would even post about Mount Shasta, they would shut down so fast. And there's so much resistance and judgment towards the real work that I've done. And that's because they're not careful about who they're surrounding themselves with. And most people think just because they're spiritual, they know what they're talking about. That is not true. Okay? Because the shadow wants to dupe you. And anybody can pretend to be anything. Anybody can read a book like Teal Swan and try to convince you that they know what they're talking about. But if you question them, if you really know them, if you put them to the test, they fall completely on their ass. Okay? So he is absolutely correct. You have to be careful. Listen to that again.
And that's the message that came to me. That's what we do on this channel, is restore balance and alignment. You're going to see tons of people out there, maybe in spirituality, that are out of balance. They're out of alignment. So you got to be careful when you go out into the spiritual communities. All right? So, you know, we all had to go through certain things. On my journey, I went on a fasting journey. Fasting has become intermittent fasting, and some days I listen to my body. I listen to the time that we're in. This is an accelerated process right now. We know that it's time for the big event right now. So we had to go through an accelerated process. So fasting, correct eating, right? Balanced eating, so important for your specific needs. Guess what? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? There's going to be people out there, they're going to tell you, you have to eat this way. You have to do that. Wrong, wrong. You, the person that's listening to this message right now, you have specific needs.
Yes.
So like I share these things over the course of my...
He is absolutely correct. If you can't be observant and hear your body and know when to do things, you can't hear spirit. Okay? There are foods that really do block you. There are meats and things that are highly contaminated. They are genetically modified, and they do cut you off. And if you can't listen to your body because you're so intoxicated from all substances, including food, you cannot rise. It makes it impossible. Now, this event, I talked about it during my live yesterday. The event, the main last final event, the thing that all of these things are prepping you for, the thing that all of the portals are bringing you to, if you can rise through them all by clearing all karma and co-creating with God, by the way, right? Pushing past the resistance, making the proper choices and soul growth. If you make it to the final event, to be able to go to the new earth, it is a very big flash. It's like going through the portal of life, which you will all experience through this. But it's a very big boom, big bang. It's like a big, huge flash of Christ's light. And then after that, what will be, will be. Okay, the new earth is already in creation. It's already been born. It's already been birthed and created. And it is right now putting itself together through the puzzle pieces right in front of you. And what was false is falling apart right in front of you. And you are either detaching and rising or falling apart with it.
Journey, there was a several week period I was craving these mushrooms. I had to eat these mushrooms. I don't even want to look at mushrooms anymore. Okay, right now
I did that too.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. I did that too. And when I first started my healing sessions, I would stand at my fridge and shove tomatoes in my mouth. And my kids were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I need tomatoes." It was so funny.
Onion kick. I got to get something in the onion.
Onions,
There's some
yes.
kind of nutrient in the onion.
Yes.
I just listen to my body. You got to listen. You got to know thyself. that is so important at this time period, because there's actually no one that can help you but yourself and God. And we have...
That's not true, because I could have helped. You know what I'm saying? But very few can. So you do have to learn to listen to yourself. This is why I have the academy. Not only did I change the world, you have to change the way of healing. So there are a lot of healers that are shrouded in shadow, and they're actually losing the light, because you cannot be duality. So he is right in a lot of things.
I had an old phrase in my family, and it used to go, God helps those that helps themselves, right? That was with serving the food, right? God helps those that help themselves. But it's really a true, you can write it in the comments, God helps those that help themselves.
Free will applied, baby. That's why there's no chosen ones. You either do the work or you don't.
Yeah, we have to all start helping ourselves. We got to take accountability, ownership of our lives.
Yes, truth recognitions. Whoop, whoop.
And not just think that a magical, it's a magical unicorn is coming to save us in spirituality.
No.
We got to wake up, kid.
Oh my God, I love this.
Wake up, ladies and gentlemen.
This is exactly what I've been trying to, I see people doing this. Oh no, it's a given. I don't have karma to clear. Distractions. I don't have karma to clear. You're being duped. Yes, you do. They're distractions. They're here to blind you. I love this. You got to wake up. Let's listen to that again.
Write in the comments, God helps those that help themselves. Yeah, we have to all start helping ourselves. We got to take accountability, ownership of our lives. And not just think that a magical, it's a magical unicorn is coming to save us in spirituality. We got to wake up, kid.
I've watched On the Path to Righteousness. If you can't be empowered yourself and learn how to take your power, learn how to use the right tools and anchor into the right things and make your choices through free will, you won't make it.
We got to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. We got to start being the royal family that we are. And there's going to be creatures out there. You'll see them in the spiritual communities. Yeah, they're going to try to stop you. They're going to tell you, oh, no.
It's true. Oh, my God. Yes, I love him.
We are doing this from the quantum. The royal family is the quantum DNA, the quantum law of being. And the quantum law of being, you are the royal. Everyone, thousands of people right now in the live stream, if you're watching on the replay, comment section, here come the royals. Here come the royals. The quantum law of being. Whatever.
The return of Christ was not just a man named Jesus. Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus, and Adam and Eve have all healed and realigned and all rebirthed. It is one twin set of souls that came together and healed all timelines back to the beginning of time. So when he says the royal family has returned, you can actually watch that unfold through the work that I have done since 2019. I undid the Holy Grail on Christmas Day in 22. I united Sekhmet and Horus through the Nile, and then Horus rose from the Sphinx shortly after, undoing the false darkness of the moon, undoing all the darkness of the moon, healing and realigning the sun, realigning the moon, and then Adam and Eve were reborn when I birthed the new earth. This August, this Lionsgate portal. I'm not kidding you, and he's not kidding you when he says the royal family has returned. I'm also not kidding you when I tell you Trump is the final president. There will be no more. The White House exploded when I activated Kilimanjaro. Not only did I activate it, I think I blew that one up 3 times. That was a masculine pyramid.
Whatever you are, your being, you are now embodying it, but it's on a delay. You're going to make a free will decision to take back your power. But I'm here to tell you the truth. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. It is truthfully on a delay because we're operating out of this 3D reality. So you are the royal, and you're saying, oh, it's taking us all different time periods. We went through a time period. We had to go through an adjustment, a reset. This is part of, quote-unquote, spiritual warfare. People come into our lives, our communities, on purpose. These are the saboteurs. Evict the saboteurs out of your life, out of your communities. Don't get distracted. There's distractions out there.
Yep.
So all of these things can cause a delay. It's the truthful ascension process. But just like when I go to the gym and I pick up the heavy weights, pick up more weights. I don't do it all the time, but I'm just using it as an example. Pick up the heavy weights. You're pressing against the weights to build those muscles, baby. The muscles are back.
He is 1000% correct. In the path to righteousness, I teach you how and I heal you into your power. And the whole way through, you have to learn the lessons, get your power back, clearing all karma, rising in frequency. Once you do that, you get the DNA activations and you move on to the next portal. If you do not choose through free will to grow as a soul, to learn the lessons and to become pure sovereign, you will not make it home.
Well, guess what? You're building your spiritual muscles. And that God wanted you to build your spiritual muscles. They said, here you go. Why don't you try this out on for size? And you had to do something. You had to overcome something, but you did it for you. And now you have something to present. Oh, I could present it to the world. I overcame X, Y, or Z, or whatever it is you had to overcome. You have been building your spiritual muscles. You are ready for the main event.
Except most are not. That's the truth. That's why most wouldn't even do the path to righteousness. That is only designed for those who are ready to rise. Okay? And God bypassed time because he said not enough were choosing through free will to push past through that as resistance. Those dupers, the saboteurs. Okay? They weren't pushing past the resistance that gets in the head, that gets into the people around you, that says, money's more important, this is more important, that's more important, she's crazy, that's crazy. Distractors. And God said enough. Too much darkness was actually being thrown towards the work I was doing, which was not good. That was hurting mankind. So that is why he's bypassed some time, and that is why now we have to be rising. You have no more time to heal. You need to be able to see and make the correct decisions now.
You're ready for the main event. I recently did a very powerful video explaining how there's quote-unquote angels and demons walking the earth right now.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot lose your focus. You cannot. I got the same. So please, people have to hear what they're saying. There are so many pitfalls in the spiritual community. You got. Please hit the like button if this resonates with you. So I got another trolling comment. It's the same one. Oh, you think you're special? These people think they're special. And you're not it's a demented mindset, and these are you cannot listen to these things. It's totally backwards. It's opposite. It's evil. What is evil? It's to live in reverse. You got to take this. This is a channel of empowerment. Just write the word empowerment. Be empowered.
He is correct. Do you know how many people were actually throwing that at the return of Christ work continually? Continually. There's so much proof on my channel to the return of Christ work that I've done. Not to mention it was my awakening. And you can tell I didn't know what I was doing when I was activating a pyramid in Fiji. I was just following God and doing it. Bringing my light through, enlarging my heart, battling for my twin soul, not realizing until the end what I was doing. And everybody would constantly, not everybody, but so many people would do that stuff. They would always throw something negative my way. Now, God doesn't use the word evil. It's either light or darkness. And you cannot be both. You're either one or the other. That's the finality.
Mark Twain said, if you don't want critics, do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. And these people that be nothing, maybe you're in your mother's basement not doing anything. Maybe you're not, picking up the divine feminine. Maybe you're a little beta boy sitting in the...
Maybe you're not picking up the divine feminine. Does he realize what he's saying? Because you know how many people don't pick up what I say? That's why I'm showing his video reflecting everything that I've said today.
Basement. Maybe that's what they are. Do better. Be better. Because Mark Twain said they want you to be nothing just like them. They want to pull you back down into the pit of doom. Ooh, it's a pit of doom. We talk about the truth here on this channel. This is what really goes on. You want to see what really goes on? Please hit that subscribe button. I
actually needed this today.
appreciate that. It's too important of a time period.
You guys, I didn't hear this till just now. Now I know why God wanted me to hear this. He literally just said they don't pick up the divine feminine.
To lose focus. It's too important of a time period to walk on eggshells for narcissists and trolls and demons in the spiritual communities.
Thank you.
It's too important of a time to have to walk on eggshells. Oh, they're going to be triggered by my strength. Oh, they're going to be triggered by my light. You can't waste a moment right now. With a sense, I did a video. God says with a sense of urgency right now. And doesn't that...
That's what I'm telling you. God bypassed time. He told me to put us in the Nile, so I bypassed a whole year's worth of tribulation and testament. Now you have to be ready to rise. You have to be able to see your karmic demise now. And if you were part of the spiritual community that was cutting contracts and burning ties to your karmic playouts, you can't rise. It is time now, and the urgency is now. I actually had somebody recently go, oh, I'm thinking about your path. And it's like, that hesitation, you should have been there a year ago. The time is now. That hesitation, procrastination, fear, money, all of those things will blind you. Because for me, it's not about money. If you can't afford it, tell me. I would gladly work with you. But the resistance is too strong for where God truly is. That's why he bypassed time. And that's why he said, it is now. You rise or you don't. Only the pure of hearts will make it through.
That video, last the test of time. What a powerful week we just went through. We had to get to the other side.
It's not over.
Check out that video.
Each portal is a test of time, you guys. They're only going to get bigger. If you think those hurricanes were a test, that was only about the third portal. And I showed you that. In birthing the new earth, there were 12 gates, 12 trumpets of angels, and each one is a boom in the matrix side. A big deliverance is what they're calling it, but a big undoing of time. And if you can't make it past the tests of your karmic playout, you cannot rise, because you cannot be duality in the new earth.
Oh, absolutely. You are putting out a light. I will try to stop him. It's really what's going on. This is what's going. This ain't my first rodeo. If you're getting me, as this channel is blowing up right now, I appreciate everyone sharing the videos. It's just divine timing. It's not my first rodeo. This is what goes on out there. Jeffrey Taylor, I appreciate you very much. And you are who I say it over and over again. We are who we are. If you're a lion, you can't be a mouse on the floor. If you're a lion, you can't be a mouse. You put the lions in the chat if you're a lion. And a lion, I'm here to tell you, ain't a hyena. No. One of the things that you could study right now, you got to look at nature. The nature is going to tell you the answers. Watch how lions act, and watch how and study how hyenas act, and then now go into society, right? You look at.
Every college student needs to have.
I'm going to end this here, you guys, but I'm telling you right now, I know why God had me share that video. I encourage you to watch that whole video on his channel. I will link to his channel and post that video beneath this. I invoke right of use. However, I didn't get his permission, but I encourage you to check out our everyday lives. That is where I got the video from. But you guys, he truly does. And he has the entirety of the Return of Christ work. Shortly after I do the work, he'll talk about it. Even when my DM took off with a fallen angel and they tried to kill me, he mentioned about it. He talked about twin flames and how it's crucial to listen and do all these things. He knows. He's very connected. He knows, and he's reflecting exactly what I've said. And I love it. I didn't know that he said in there, you choose to not listen to the divine feminine, but that is your choice. For that is the true path home. He is walking the path of the sun. Are you? You don't have time. The time is now. And fear is not of God. it's a saboteur. Sabotage, right? The wounded soul is not whole. You have to be whole. So use these energies wisely this week. Know how Spirit communicates with you and use them to raise your frequency. You have to ride the waves of frequency shift this week. There's catalyst energy present for a reason. Okay? So much love to all of you. I will see you later. Today I have to go get ready for day 2 of my Lyran workshop. My ethereal entanglement, basically. So I'll see you later. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week ahead. Use the energies wisely. And for those who can push past the resistance, you can actually watch the Return of Christ on this channel, but you have to watch the videos. And where your shadow is, you won't hear it all. So the more you watch them, the more you're going to see. The more you heal, the more you awaken to what truly is who I am and what I have done and what's coming your way. We don't have time. It's now with urgency, just like De La Roca said. I'll see you guys later.